the Game Awards, that big finale reveal that had everyone expecting GTA 6 or some other massive franchise announcement, as we typically see in that final slot. And instead, we got Highguard, a free-to-play hero shooter from a new studio called Wildlight Entertainment. The internet lost its mind.
You know, sometimes our last reveal at the Game Awards is a teaser for something years and years away. Not tonight. Our final world premiere comes from 61 members of the team that built Apex Legends and Titanfall. 4 years ago, the principals founded a new independent studio with the hopes of pushing the shooter genre forward with a new original game. They've done it in complete secrecy, which is even more amazing because the game is very deep into development. The power of independent, self-published studios to push this medium forward is a growing and, I think, positive theme in our industry. And so tonight, you're not only going to get the announcement of the game, but also your first look at the gameplay. I've played it, and after you see this trailer, I think you're going to want to as well. Welcome to Highguard.
The assumption was that Wildcard must have paid an absolute fortune for that finale slot. Game Awards ad spots reportedly cost around $500,000 for the longest slots, and you can even pay upwards of $1 million. And the finale position is the most expensive and most prestigious placement you can buy. Everyone figured Wildcard had bet the farm on that reveal and then just spectacularly failed because the game was generic and derivative and mid. Well, according to Forbes reporter Paul Tassi, we might have all been completely wrong. He tweeted on January 16th that according to his sources, Highguard didn't actually pay for that Game Awards finale spot. It was just the show putting it there. Jeff Keighley gave them the slot for free and wrote that monologue to hype it up for free. Like, let that sink in for a second. In an era where the Game Awards and Summer Game Fest are basically television billboards for whoever has the deepest pockets, the showrunners looked at Highguard, an unknown PvP raid shooter with zero marketing presence, and decided, yes, this is the banger we want to end on tonight. Multiple sources suggested that Jeff Keighley was genuinely enamored with the game. He hyped it up before the reveal, mentioning that it was from developers who'd worked on Titanfall and Apex Legends. Pedigrees for sure, but that got people thinking it might be a Titanfall spiritual successor. And when it turned out to just be another hero shooter, the disappointment was palpable. And that spot for the reveal with his hype didn't help. There's a prevailing story about what actually might have gone down, and it comes from Twitter user Banewolf, who claimed they heard that the Game Awards organizers hadn't originally planned for Highguard to close the show. According to their information, so take it for what it's worth, the game that was supposed to be the finale got delayed or pulled out at the last minute, and Keighley asked Wildlight if they wanted the slot instead. Paul Tassi agreed this version of events made the most sense. It would explain everything, like why Highguard got the spot for free, why the reveal felt so underwhelming for a finale position, and why the decision seemed to have backfired so spectacularly. And it gets even weirder because since that December reveal, Highguard has gone almost completely radio silent. The game is supposedly launching January 2026. It's in a week, and there's been virtually nothing from Wildcard Entertainment, or Wildcard from Wildlight Entertainment. Oops. Their social media account, which was established in July, started posting after the Game Awards reveal, hasn't had a new post since December 12th. There was apparently some kind of preview event that happened, but no coverage came out of it. No new trailers, no gameplay deep dives, no marketing push, just silence. The game's Twitter banner still shows that January 26th release date, but at this point, a lot of people are wondering if this game is even going to actually launch. And here's the tragedy of this whole situation. Jeff Keighley might have actually killed this game with kindness. By giving Highguard the finale slot, he set the expectations so impossibly high. The last few Game Awards have been things like the Elden Ring DLC announcement, Intergalactic. Those are massive cultural defining reveals. And Highguard is a free-to-play PvP raid shooter in a market that's already oversaturated with hero shooters and extraction games. It might be a perfectly fine game, but by positioning it at the show's grand finale, Keighley created a situation where anything short of revolutionary was going to feel like a letdown. And comments from the gaming community have been brutal. People are saying Keighley cursed the game, that he should have known better from a showmanship perspective, that you never send an audience out on such a weak note. Some suggested that they should have just ended with the Star Wars Old Republic announcement instead, which at least would have generated positive buzz. But stepping back, this whole situation reveals something interesting about how the Game Awards actually works, because the assumption has always been that placement is purely transactional. You pay more, you get a better slot. But apparently Jeff does have final say over where things go, regardless of who paid what. So that does give him enormous power to make or break games. And if he genuinely believes in something and gives it premium placement, that's great for a game that deserves it. But if his judgment is off, or if circumstances force him to make last-minute changes, he can inadvertently destroy a game's chances by creating impossible expectations. So I actually do, in a way, feel bad for Wildlight Entertainment. If the theory is true that they were offered this slot last minute because another game pulled out, what were they supposed to do? Say no to the Game Awards finale position? I mean, of course not. You take that opportunity every single time. But in retrospect, it might have been the worst thing that could have happened to their game. If Highguard had been slotted in the middle of the show as just another reveal, it probably would have been fine. People would have thought, oh, another hero shooter, cool, and moved on. But by being the finale, it became a punchline, and now the game launches in less than a week with almost no marketing, minimal buzz, and a community that's already skeptical because of how the reveal was handled. That's rough. As for Jeff Keighley, I think this should be a wake-up call about the responsibility that comes with curating these shows. You can't just put games in slots based on what you personally think is cool. You have to consider the context, the expectations, and whether a game is actually ready to shoulder that level of attention. Otherwise, you're not helping these developers, you're setting them up to fail. All right, this one hits different because it's not about corporate drama or marketing failures. Did Jeff Keighley kill Highguard by giving them the finale slot? That's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and peace out.